Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the vitamins you've been taking for years, maybe even decades, haven't been working the way you thought they were. Imagine discovering that the one supplement you trusted the most, your daily vitamin D3, might actually be underperforming or even causing silent problems in your body simply because it was missing two key partners. Today, I'm going to share something that almost no one talks about, something even many doctors don't mention, but Dr. William Li has been highlighting in his newer discussions about nutrition, metabolism, and how vitamins interact in the real world. And once you understand this connection between vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium glycinate, you will never look at these nutrients the same way again. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll understand why taking D3 alone could be one of the most common mistakes people make with supplements, and how a few small changes can completely transform your energy, immunity, bone strength, cardiovascular health, sleep quality, and even your mood. So stay with me because this is going to change a lot for you, especially if you're someone who has been taking vitamin D, but still feels tired, still aches, still struggles with sleep, or still has low immunity despite doing all the right things. Most people don't realize that vitamin D3 on its own is not enough for the body to function the way it's supposed to. You hear people say all the time, I take vitamin D, but I still feel tired, or my immune system is still weak, or my bones still ache even though I'm taking supplements. And the hidden truth is that vitamin D3 is a powerful nutrient, but it's not designed to work alone. Vitamin D is more like a key that needs two supporting partners in order to fit into the lock and turn. Those partners are magnesium and vitamin K2. Without them, vitamin D is present in your body, but it remains underutilized, unactivated, or misdirected. Scientists and researchers like Dr. William Li explain that vitamin D is actually a hormone regulator that affects your immune system, your metabolism, your inflammation levels, your energy production, your bone health, and even your mood. But the pathway that turns D3 into something your body can actually use depends heavily on magnesium. When you consume vitamin D3, your liver and kidneys must convert it into its usable form, and both of those conversions require magnesium. Without enough magnesium, that conversion process slows down or stalls completely, meaning your vitamin D remains inactive no matter how much you take. This is why people keep increasing their dosage, sometimes taking 5,000 IU or 10,000 IU every day, but still feel low and sluggish. They aren't actually absorbing what they think they're absorbing. Their body is holding onto a vitamin it cannot activate. And then there's the second partner, vitamin K2. This one is equally important because once vitamin D increases your calcium absorption, that calcium has to go somewhere. Vitamin D is responsible for opening the door to let calcium into your bloodstream, but vitamin K2 is responsible for guiding that calcium to your bones and teeth where it belongs. Without K2, the extra calcium that vitamin D brings in has no direction. So instead of benefiting your bones, that calcium can linger in your blood vessels, your joints, and your soft tissues. Over time, this leads to stiffness, calcification, and even artery hardening. None of this is because vitamin D is bad, but because it's incomplete without its partners. The body needs this trio to maintain balance. D3 absorbs, K2 directs, magnesium activates. When one of them is missing, the system becomes unstable, and the very supplement meant to help you may cause more harm than good. This is the silent mistake millions of people unknowingly make. They take vitamin D religiously, believing it will fix their fatigue or boost their immunity, but without magnesium and K2, the vitamin D never reaches its full potential. It's like trying to run a powerful engine without spark plugs or oil. Everything depends on synergy. When these nutrients work together, vitamin D finally becomes the powerful hormone regulator it was meant to be. When they're out of balance, the whole process breaks down and people end up thinking vitamin D doesn't work for them when really their body was missing the pieces that allow it to do its job. Magnesium glycinate plays a role in the body that most people never hear about, yet it's one of the most important pieces in the entire vitamin D puzzle. When you take vitamin D3, your body does not use it in the same form you swallow. It has to go through two major conversions before it becomes the active hormone that supports your immune system, bones, mood, and energy. The first conversion happens in the liver, and the second takes place in the kidneys. Both of these conversions require magnesium. Without magnesium, the process stops right at the beginning. This means even if you're taking large doses of vitamin D3, your body cannot fully activate it unless sufficient magnesium is present. This is why people often get blood tests showing their vitamin D levels look fine on paper, yet they still have symptoms like fatigue, bone pain, weak immunity, or low mood. Their body has vitamin D stored, but it's not activated or used by the cells, and magnesium deficiency is usually the missing link. Magnesium glycinate is special because it is one of the most absorbable and gentle forms of magnesium. Other forms, like magnesium oxide, hardly get absorbed and often cause digestive issues, which means they don't help much with vitamin D activation. Magnesium glycinate, on the other hand, is bound to the amino acid glycine, making it highly bioavailable and easy for the body to use. Glycine itself is calming to the nervous system, so when combined with magnesium, it supports not just vitamin D activation, but also deeper sleep, reduced stress, relaxed muscles, and a more balanced mood. When your body gets enough magnesium glycinate, it finally has the raw material needed to start converting vitamin D into its active form. This is when people begin to feel the real benefits of vitamin D instead of just hoping their supplement is doing something. Magnesium also prevents some of the uncomfortable side effects people experience when they increase their dose of vitamin D. Whenever you take vitamin D, your magnesium levels drop because your body uses magnesium to process the vitamin. So if someone takes high doses of D3 without magnesium, they might start feeling restless, anxious, or have trouble sleeping. They may experience muscle twitches, headaches, or strange tension in their body. These symptoms are not because vitamin D is harming them. They're because the vitamin D is draining their already low magnesium stores. This is why many people take vitamin D in the morning, feel energized at first, but then feel wired or anxious by afternoon. It's a magnesium imbalance in disguise. Once magnesium glycinate is added into the routine, almost everything changes. Vitamin D starts converting smoothly, energy becomes more stable, mood feels lighter, sleep improves, and the nervous system calms down. Even bone-building processes become more efficient because magnesium helps regulate how calcium is used in the body. When vitamin D and magnesium work together correctly, the body enters a more balanced and healthier state that many people haven't experienced in years. Vitamin K2 plays one of the most underrated yet critical roles in the entire vitamin D process, especially when it comes to calcium management inside the body. Most people think that as long as they get enough calcium and vitamin D, their bones will automatically become stronger. But that's not how the body works. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, which means more calcium enters your bloodstream, but it does not control where that calcium goes. Without guidance, that extra calcium can end up settling in places where it doesn't belong. This is where vitamin K2 becomes absolutely essential. K2 acts like a traffic controller for calcium, directing it toward your bones and teeth and preventing it from building up in your arteries, joints, or soft tissues. It activates two specific proteins, osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein, which are responsible for binding calcium and escorting it to the right destinations. When these proteins are inactive, calcium becomes free floating, and free floating calcium is what leads to stiff arteries, calcified joints, and even kidney stones. Many people who complain about feeling more joint pressure or discomfort after taking calcium or vitamin D are actually experiencing the effects of calcium being placed in the wrong areas because they are missing vitamin K2. When you add K2 to your routine alongside vitamin D, the body suddenly becomes far more intelligent in its use of calcium. Instead of drifting into arteries, the calcium gets deposited into the bones where it increases density and strength. Instead of sitting in soft tissues, it moves into the areas of the body that need reinforcement. This is why K2 is such a powerful protector for cardiovascular health. It helps maintain flexible, healthy arteries by preventing calcium from hardening the vessel walls. Researchers often point out that populations with high dietary K2 intake have far lower rates of artery calcification, and that's no coincidence. K2 ensures that calcium becomes a tool for strengthening the skeletal system rather than a threat to the circulatory system. Another overlooked point is how vitamin D and K2 complement each other. Vitamin D is like the opener. It opens the gate and lets calcium into the bloodstream. K2 is like the supervisor. It points the calcium toward the bone building cells and away from danger zones. When you take D3 without K2, the system becomes unbalanced. You have absorption without direction. But when you take them together, the system becomes optimized. Your bones receive the minerals they need, your arteries stay smooth and flexible, your joints feel less stressed, and your overall calcium economy becomes far more efficient. Most people who experience stiffness, fatigue, or strange discomfort after increasing their D3 or calcium intake are often unaware that low K2 is the underlying cause. Their body is trying to manage the calcium load, but doesn't have the tools to send it to the right place. When K2 is introduced, many of those uncomfortable symptoms begin to fade because the calcium is finally being used correctly. People report feeling lighter, more flexible, and more stable in their joints. Long term, the benefits compound even more significantly. Bones become stronger with each cycle of proper mineralization, arteries stay clearer, and the entire cardiovascular system benefits from reduced calcification stress. Vitamin K2's role may not be talked about as much as vitamin D, but it is just as important in building a healthy, functioning body. Without it, the calcium vitamin D pulls and remains unorganized and potentially harmful. With it, that same calcium becomes one of the most powerful tools for strengthening your bones and protecting your heart. When vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium glycinate come together, the body enters a state of balance that most people don't realize they were missing until they finally experience it. Each nutrient plays a unique role, but when they work together, the benefits multiply in ways that are felt in every part of daily life. Vitamin D3 supports immune strength, energy production, hormone balance, mental clarity, and inflammation control. K2 manages where calcium travels inside the body, making sure it strengthens bones instead of clogging arteries or stiffening joints. Magnesium glycinate activates vitamin D, calms the nervous system, improves sleep quality, supports muscle recovery, enhances metabolic functions, and reduces stress responses. Each nutrient fills in the gaps left by the others. When people take vitamin D alone, the results are limited because the body simply cannot use the D3 without the presence of magnesium to activate it and K2 to guide its effects. Together, they form a complete system that makes everything work the way nature intended. When this trio works in harmony, people often begin noticing improvements they weren't even expecting. They might start feeling more energized throughout the day, with fewer crashes or dips in mood. Their immune system becomes more resilient, making them less susceptible to seasonal illnesses or slow recovery times. Bones and joints feel more stable because calcium is being properly directed to support bone density instead of accumulating in soft tissues. Inflammation begins to settle down, which leads to less stiffness, better mobility, and enhanced recovery after physical activity. This reduction in inflammation also plays a role in supporting healthier blood vessels, smoother circulation, and improved cardiovascular function. Magnesium glycinate adds a particularly powerful layer to this combination by helping the body relax, recover, and regenerate. Because it supports the nervous system, people often sleep more deeply when they take magnesium at night. Better sleep naturally improves mood, metabolism, immune function, and cognitive performance. When your body rests well, your vitamin D levels become more stable, your stress hormones decrease, your digestion improves, and your mind becomes clearer. Pairing this nighttime calm with the daytime support from vitamin D and K2 creates a full 24-hour cycle of health benefits that reinforce each other. The synergy also extends to metabolic health. Vitamin D helps regulate insulin sensitivity and energy use. Magnesium plays a major role in glucose balance and hundreds of enzyme reactions that affect metabolism. K2 supports mitochondrial function and reduces calcification stress that can interfere with healthy metabolic processes. When all three are balanced, many people notice improved weight control, better appetite regulation, more stable energy, and fewer sugar cravings. These improvements aren't because any of these nutrients are fat burners, but because they help the metabolic system operate smoothly and efficiently. Emotionally and mentally, the trio supports clarity, calmness, and stability. Vitamin D affects serotonin pathways, magnesium supports relaxation and stress resilience, and K2 plays a role in brain health and cognitive protection. Together, they help people feel more grounded and positive. Even subtle improvements like waking up more refreshed, feeling less overwhelmed, or having steadier focus can drastically improve daily quality of life. When these nutrients work as a team, the body stops struggling and starts functioning the way it's meant to. The immune system becomes stronger, bones become denser, arteries stay flexible, muscles recover faster, sleep deepens, mood stabilizes, energy rises, and overall vitality increases. This trio isn't just a supplement routine, it's a full body upgrade that addresses health from several angles at once. Timing plays a much larger role in the effectiveness of D3K2 and magnesium glycinate than most people realize. And once you understand how the body handles each nutrient throughout the day, everything starts to make sense. Vitamin D3 is naturally associated with sunlight, energy, alertness, and daytime hormone activity. That's why taking vitamin D in the morning fits perfectly with the way your body operates. When you take it early in the day, it signals your system to wake up, support immune function, balance mood, and set a healthy rhythm for your metabolism. Pairing D3 with K2 in the morning enhances this even further because K2 helps guide calcium during the day when your body is most active, moving, repairing, and reinforcing your bones. The daytime hours are when you're using your muscles, putting pressure on your joints, and relying on your skeletal structure. So having K2 directing calcium to strengthen those tissues during active hours gives your body what it needs exactly when it needs it. On the other hand, magnesium glycinate works best in the evening because of its calming nature. It relaxes muscles, soothes the nervous system, regulates neurotransmitters, and supports melatonin production, all of which prepare the body for deep, restorative sleep. During the night, your brain detoxifies, your muscles repair, your immune system resets, and your digestive system balances itself. Magnesium plays a part in every one of those processes. If taken in the morning, magnesium might make some people feel too relaxed or a bit sluggish, but at night, it becomes a powerful ally that helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Sleep is where your body activates healing, emotional recovery, and hormonal regulation, so taking magnesium at night enhances all the benefits of the vitamin D you took earlier in the day. This combination creates a natural 24-hour health cycle. In the morning, D3 plus K2 gives your body energy, focus, and calcium regulation. You start the day with a biochemical push that supports immunity, metabolism, brain function, and bone health. Then in the evening, magnesium glycinate steps in to calm, restore, and activate all the cellular processes that rely on nighttime relaxation. This distribution mimics the body's natural rhythms, syncing your supplement routine with your circadian clock. When your supplement timing aligns with your internal clock, everything works better. Your hormones stabilize, your digestion improves, your stress levels drop, and your energy becomes consistent rather than spiking or crashing throughout the day. Taking the trio at the correct times also prevents the common side effects many people mistakenly blame on vitamin D. For example, taking D3 later in the day can interfere with sleep because it boosts alertness. Pairing D3 with calcium but without K2 can cause joint discomfort or stiffness. Taking D3 without magnesium often leads to restlessness, tension, or anxiety because vitamin D uses up magnesium stores. But when D3 and K2 are taken in the morning and magnesium glycinate at night, these issues almost always disappear because the nutrients are no longer competing or causing imbalances. They're working in harmony. This timing also helps create predictable, steady improvements rather than temporary or inconsistent ones. Over weeks, people notice they wake up feeling more refreshed, their energy lasts longer, their mood feels more balanced, their bones and joints feel supported, and their sleep becomes deeper. The body doesn't feel overwhelmed by supplements anymore. It feels supported. Instead of fighting against its natural rhythms, your supplements flow with them. This simple shift in timing transforms the trio from just another set of pills into a powerful health routine that supports your body from sunrise to sleep, ensuring every nutrient is used at the exact moment it will benefit you most.